Merry Christmas and welcome to the Cannon County Chamber Connection. And of course, this is always made possible by DTC Communications, and they're a good partner to the Chamber, always have been, as well as other organizations in Cannon County too, so we do appreciate them. Another year has come to an end, and Cannon County has hosted a lot of events, and we've hosted a lot of visitors, and we like that, and we want to welcome them back. We also have some new businesses that have entered into the chamber and some that haven't, but they're still new businesses in Woodbury and Cannon County. And we're delighted when y'all come to the events that we have, and we hope you come back again next year. I do have some guests with me today, and one of them is Jason Austin, and he is with one of our newer businesses with an old name, and that's Woodbury Drug Center. And this one has a whole new staff with the exception of 2 or 3, right, Jason?
Yes.
And you do have a partner in this because everybody thinks someone local has opened this.
Yes, Rhonda Maynard, who owns Spencer Drug Company, she is my partner in the business. And we have a couple of familiar faces, too, working for us. Richie Hunter and Dan Scales, who were part of the old Woodbury Drug Center. So,
and sure. Carla.
And Carla Kemp is one of our technicians, and Jessica Hayes is another full-time technician who are local here in Woodbury.
And Sue and I are former
we worked for the drug center. Yeah.
Wow. In fact, Sue, you were there when you were a teenager, right?
Well, not hardly. I was tweeny, I think, when I started.
Well, might as well be a teenager.
Yeah.
Because I spent 23 years there, and Sue spent longer than I did. So we're hoping your longevity. We were going to report for work because when the first store closed, I was off because I'd had an injury, and they never really did terminate me.
Okay, so you're still actually an employee at Woodbury Drug Center.
I could have went in and reported for work if I'd have remembered anything that I was supposed to do. So, no, we worked in the office. So
Hey,
you probably wouldn't want me feeling drugs.
Oh, I'm sure you do a great job.
Well, I know about baby aspirin and high blood pressure pills. I do know about them. But how's it going for you?
It's going well. We're picking up business all the time. We picked up more of the major insurance companies, so we're waiting on one other, Cigna. We should be able to bill them this week.
Okay.
So that'll, make us able to bill all of the major insurance companies. So things are going well. It's picking up every day.
Having the familiar faces there, because I've got to say Richie was always one of everybody's favorites.
Yes.
Because he would honey darling them, and he'd talk to them. And I will say this, if you needed to know about your medicine, Richie did know that. Not
Yes.
that Dan didn't, but Richie could talk to him, and he did understand all that and could make them understand. So
Yeah, Richie's great. Dan's a great pharmacist too. They're just great with the patients. And we got the greatest technicians you'll find in a pharmacy in Jessica and Carla. And we also have Shaylin Clark. She goes to MTSU full-time right now, so she works with us on the weekends and when she's off from school. And we have another girl who works about one day a week, Brittany Jernigan from McMinnville. But we have a great staff there at Woodbury Drug Center, and they're able to take great care of the patients there.
And you have a very small building, but a lot of parking lot, don't you?
Yes, we do. We got the big awning. So yesterday it was raining. Just pull right under the awning, and you'll stay
That's
dry
right.
getting your prescription filled. We have a drive-through window, or you can come inside. We have a small waiting area and over-the-counter products if you need something for a cold or headache, anything like that. We have items available for that.
And what are your future plans? Just get more business, huh?
Well, our long-term plan right now, as business picks up, we plan on building a bigger building in the same location, just a bigger, nicer building.
You certainly got room.
We do have a big parking lot there, so we're planning on, maybe a year and a half down the road, just setting up maybe a temporary building in the back to work out of while they build a new building in the same place. that's our long-term goals.
Well, good. I hope it comes to fruition for you because we need a local hometown pharmacy, another one. And this is good. And plus you have our sign that was on our building for years, but I never did remember it being lit up, and I never remembered it having an arrow.
Yes, Rhonda's husband, Michael Maynard, was able to track that down with the help of Richie. And they found it just a few miles down the road who had bought it. And Michael took that and refurbished it.
And it looks
got
great.
the arrow flashing again, cleaned it up, put new LED lights in it. And that's been a big talking point.
Oh,
People
it
coming
has.
in there, they see the sign and just want to come in and see what it's all about.
And they think we've seen that sign for years, but it was never lit up. I don't ever remember it being lit up, do you?
And I sure don't remember it flashing.
And I don't remember that red arrow.
I think Mike did that. He put that flashing.
He did. He did a great job with that. We're tickled to death to have that old sign working again.
Those old signs are worth a lot. You
I hear
wouldn't
they
think
can
it,
be,
but they, yeah, especially if they're working.
Well, it was still on that building up there till
Yeah.
the people that own Leland's bought the building.
It hasn't
stayed
been
on
more
the
than
building all
2
that
years
long.
that's been off of there. I don't even know if it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been pretty recent when it was bought, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, and I'm proud that you've come, and I'm glad that your business is doing well, and you did say this was one of your biggest weeks. The more insurance companies that you can get connected with, I think the more business you'll get.
Right, and after this week, we should be able to take all of the insurance companies. So we're happy to help everybody here in Woodbury, and we're happy to be here.
Well, good. Everybody's being friendly.
Oh yeah, people in Woodbury have been very friendly and really getting to know everybody. Really enjoy getting to know everybody here in Woodbury.
Well, they like to tell you about themselves, they do.
Hey, I like to talk. That's why I got into pharmacy. I like talking with new people and getting to know people and
Well, that's
dealing with
good.
the public.
Because that's really Richie and Dan. That's how Richie'd go out there and he'd counsel them and talk to them and knew all their families and their dogs and their kids and everybody. So
That's what it's all about.
it is. It really is. And be able to counsel them on you shouldn't take certain things together or more than you're supposed to.
Right. Very important stuff.
It is very important stuff. That, isn't it, Sue?
Yes, and they were, people would come in and talk to them and say, I've got this sinus problem, what can I take? And they'd help them and keep them from going to the doctor. And I'm sure y'all are doing that
Oh,
down
yeah,
there
absolutely.
a lot.
That's a major part of pharmacy. We're kind of the front lines of healthcare. People might come to us first because we're more available, open more hours and whatnot. And sometimes we can prevent, a doctor's visit by recommending something over the counter. And then on the other hand, if somebody comes and it's something that we believe is serious, we can refer them to the doctor and, help them out in that way.
When you think about it, who is better to speak with you about your medicine than a pharmacist? A lot of the times pharmacists know about interactions of drugs and everything that maybe your doctor doesn't. He's your doctor and he knows what to prescribe for you, but if you're taking more than one, a lot of times it's the pharmacist that can counsel you on that. Am I wrong? Am I
That's
wrong,
absolutely
Jason?
correct. Yeah, we are the medication experts. That's what we go to pharmacy school for, so we can catch all those interactions and know how to counsel people on new medications and just help you take care of yourself and stay healthy.
And that's why it's so important to get all your medicines at one pharmacy so they can
is.
see all the
Absolutely.
interactions and
So we can keep
things.
track of all that and know all the medications you're taking. And even
And-
over-the-counter medicines too are important to know too, and herbal products.
Well, especially if you're taking prescription meds too, because a lot of them interact in your system.
They can.
And I think one of the things that happened quite a bit previously was they would go to their doctors and depending on their condition, they would prescribe something new, but the people didn't know that this was in place of. something else, so they'd be taking everything.
Right,
And
yes,
they should have stopped taking some of that.
right. And that's part of the pharmacist's job, to prevent those errors from happening and make sure you're taking the correct medications and the right dosages and all that.
But you have to go to the same pharmacist because they can't read your mind.
Unfortunately, they don't teach us how to read minds.
No, they don't. I knew that. I knew that. Well, we hope you do really well. Like I say, the chamber welcomes all new business to Cannon County, so we're glad you're here, and you would be considered a hometown. Not that there's anything wrong with chains, but you kind of like a hometown pharmacy. Well, I do. I like a hometown anything. So I hope this is a good thing.
The major
Appreciate it.
thing you're competing with the other chains is customer service, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, customer service, I've worked for chains in the past, and I've worked for independent pharmacies like Woodbury Drug Center is. And it's been my experience we're able to provide a little bit better customer service than a chain drugstore, because we can take more time with the patients and talk to them more and make sure they understand, their medications, and just provide a little bit better customer service. And we can deliver to you. If you need something delivered, we've done that. And
Well,
just,
that's
go
really
above and
good. You
beyond.
don't hear of that much anymore,
We're
of the delivery. Did we do that at one time?
We did that, don't you remember Jason?
Oh,
delivering?
yeah, we'd
Yeah.
send Jason out, yeah.
Yes, we had delivery.
That was kind of scary, but anyway.
We had the young guys did the delivery, yeah.
But that's a good thing, because there are people that can't get in.
Get out,
To a
yeah.
pharmacy.
right. We just want to be here to help those people.
Well,
Any way
I'm
we can.
impressed, Jason, I am. And you want to be a part of the community? Your family, you have, I know, a little boy. Do you have more than one?
No, he's our only one. I've got a 2-year-old son, Luke, and my wife is Susan. She's a nurse for the school system in Warren County.
Okay.
She's been an RN for many years now.
Is that where you live?
I am from McMinnville, yes, born and
That's
raised.
okay, we're not going to hold that against you. No. Not everybody can live here.
Well, maybe down the road.
Where did you work before?
I worked in McMinnville for Rite Aid was the last job I worked, and I actually got my start at Stewart's Pharmacy, hometown independent pharmacy in McMinnville, and worked at another independent pharmacy in Atlanta where I went to school. I've kind of got a mix of chain pharmacies and independent, but did get my start in independent, so that's my first love.
Yeah. Well, I like independent pharmacies too. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
Now, we're just happy to be here in Woodbury and look forward to getting to meet everybody and get to know everybody.
Well, one thing is, in January, we always have our yearly banquet for the chamber, and everybody's invited, all members and everything, and that's a good place to kind of come and see who else. That there's a lot of people that are chamber members that never even meet each other. So this is the one opportunity, and besides that, we give you a 60-second commercial.
Hey, that sounds
Rather
great.
than having a speaker, we let everybody that's there have a 60-second commercial. So, and if you
Good.
go over that a little bit, I won't get the hook out or anything, but
It's not
it
like
just-
the Grammy Awards where they
No.
start playing the music.
We don't have a
in fact,
contest,
I don't even
no.
think we have any music, come to think of it. But, no, it's good because it is fun to see. And we have several new chamber members this year, so that's a good way for them to get acquainted with everybody else,
Great. We look forward to that.
Well, all right. I'll let you know date and time. I will. Sue, I'm going to talk to you because your busy season, you're always busy, but your busy season is coming up
Right.
with tax time, right?
Yes.
Are there going to be major changes this year, or will it be
It
on the
won't be
next
for
year?
17 major, we don't think, unless the legislature, a lot of times they pass or Congress passes bills, the end of December, and it delays the filing date, that we can start because the software companies have to get that into their software. And so I don't think we're going to see a lot of major changes, a lot with the health insurance. There's uncertainty about that. It looks like there will be penalties for 17 and, payback if you got a subsidy. So there's a lot of uncertainty. I think it's going to be done away with in 18, but I think it'll be there for the filing season in 17. And there'll be a lot of changes, I believe, in the year 18. But it's just important to watch. One thing you need to be sure is that health care form you get in the mail showing that you have health care, that 1095 form, and it shows that you had health care for part of the year or all the year, because they say they're going to enforce penalties this year, which they didn't so much last year, for not having insurance for 17. So that's important. It's just important to stay on top of it, get all of your information together, be sure you have everything, and like your W-2s, your 1099s, if you're self-employed, that you have good records regarding your mileage and all of that. And we want to help you. We want to help you save money, but we can't do that if you don't keep records. So it's just important that we do that. And I'm also an investment advisor, so I help people who are retiring maybe, or they're planning for retirement, and we have a lot of vehicles we can use. The ideal person, maybe that's 6-7 years from retirement, he definitely needs to do it. If you're too close to retirement and we're looking at whether to draw Social Security at 62 or not, you need to be sure and talk to someone about that to see if you're going to be able to do that. A lot of times we find out you can't retire at 62. You're going to have to wait to full retirement age, especially if you're planning on working. It's just not practical to start drawing at 62, but everybody's situation is different, and a lot of people are having to work on because of health insurance. They have to work till they can get on Medicare because the health insurance is so expensive. So there's a lot of planning in that. We talk about what you want to do when you retire. Do you want to travel? Do you want to fish, buy a boat, buy a lake house, whatever, and try to let them see that they can either afford that or they can't afford it, and they're going to have to scale back. So it's a lot of planning to that. I think we've always kind of been just fly by the seat of your pants on that sort of thing, but we really do need to do planning for retirement. And then we have things like long-term care, planning for that, a life insurance. A lot of people have their life insurance through their employer, and so when they leave the employer, they won't have any life insurance. And if you don't get it when you're younger, it's almost too expensive to have. So there's just a lot of things to look at retirement. And then there's tax planning is very important too, that we look if maybe we've got a property that we're thinking about selling and we want to look at the tax consequences. Are we better off to do it this year, and next year we don't really know what's going to happen, or an installment sale or an exchange? So all of these things we need to plan for. Our taxes are very important that we plan for those, especially if we foresee, down the road some big change we're going to make, or we have a lot of stocks or mutual funds and we're going to have capital gains or capital losses on that. So it's a lot of just planning, and I think you should see someone to do that. And I'm available for that, but you may, the person that does your taxes may be available. And we're accepting new clients. We also do bookkeeping, payroll, 401ks, IRAs, SEP IRAs for employers. So we can handle most aspects. In my office is here on Lester Street, and it's Sue H. Patrick, CPA, and I'm listed in the phone book, and I do provide all of those services and have been in business at that location since 2004. But since 2000, when the drugstore closed, I went out on my own. I'm a CPA, and I had worked for them in the accounting department, and then I opened up my own business and got my investment license.
So when you were talking about what you're going to do when you retire, whether you're going to travel or buy a boat. My husband retired, and of course, he told me when he retired, he says, well, we may travel or something, and that's been 3 years ago, and we haven't left Woodbury. So
You're still working, though.
well, that's true. I am still working. But that's because I like working. So, you know, it's a good job. Get to meet a lot of people, run my mouth. I like that.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to continue to work. I work during the summer 4 days a week, and that it works well with my staff and me. And of course, during tax season, I'm there 6 days a week.
And usually, what, 10 to 15 hours a day?
Well, I've got some really good help now, so I don't
Yes,
have to
you
work
do.
as long hours as I have to. I have Susie Moody Spa and Britta Phillips that work for me, and they're both very good.
Jason, I'm going to switch from where are you located at? Where's the drug center
We're
located?
at 604 West Main Street.
That's
They're
right.
next to the gas company.
Okay, and it's small, but you'll see a big sign and big parking lot.
And
We didn't mention that.
They have chairs out front. Do you still have that fire pit or whatever?
Yeah, Richie brought a fire pit for the Cannon Country Christmas. It's still out there.
So you could sit there and warm.
So if it gets cold,
Which it is
Which
today.
it is now, yeah.
yes, it is cold today. But Sue, you offer a lot of things, and I don't think you can emphasize enough in your kind of business where record keeping is what it's all about. Because when you bring everything and throw it in there in a box in Sue's desk, and they have to go through everything and sort it out, whatever your problems are, whatever your needs are, not always problems, but it helps if you can bring an organized group
We
of
really
papers
don't
in
do
there.
those boxes. We don't take new clients with boxes anymore. So,
No
you know,
baggage.
we tell them to sort and list. So it's just not economical for them.
But I've seen
For us,
you with
yes,
boxes.
we've had it, but we try not to do that anymore. So another thing to emphasize is to keep a cost basis on any stocks or mutual funds you buy. That's so important. And that means what you gave for it plus any dividends that have been paid and reinvested. So it's very important that we do that when we sell that, so we don't have to pay capital gains on extra monies. And we do have a Tennessee Hall income tax that has been lowered some each year right now, but it's on interest and dividends and capital gain distributions. And a lot of people don't realize that we have it. And they're enforcing that very much now. So that's something we have to prepare also. So people need to be aware of that, especially if you've moved in here and they say, oh, Tennessee doesn't have an income tax. We do have a Hall income tax.
You're
That is-
saying in a state income tax. what
Yes,
they
it's
would
a
be
state
referring
income
to.
tax, and it's just on interest and dividends and capital gain distributions. And state of Tennessee ones are exempt, but others you have to pay tax on. And that's something that's not really known when people move in here.
Well, I moved from a state that did have state income tax, so it is different if you move in and you've been in well, I think all states are different.
They are.
To some extent,
Yeah, I
every
had
one
someone
of them.
call me about a California tax, and they'd moved to California, and I said, I really don't know. I'm going to have to research that, but I'll find out if they have a tax they'd sold some property here, were living in California, and they wanted to know if they would have to pay tax on that. It turned out because they were a non-resident of California, when they sold it, they did not have to.
But those are all questions
Right.
that you need to contact somebody like Sue to get answers to if you don't already know them. And that changes all the time.
Yeah, and I'm accepting new clients. If anyone needs help, I am accepting new clients.
So get all your paperwork together, have it organized, and call Sue. That's good, because she's local, and I like local business. I think that's what it's all about, so that's a good thing. Well, Sue, hang around a minute, and we'll go into the Lions Club, but right now I want to talk to Marcia. And Marcia, you are the director of our great library, and that's where we're filming today, is at the library, and you have done a wonderful job since you have become director. You have a lot of programs throughout the year that interest children and adults alike, right?
We try, yes, very hard.
Yes, you do. And they do. So what would you like to talk to us about today?
Well, I've got 7 items. I don't
Okay.
know how much time I have. So the first one is Santa is coming to the library. I want to make sure everybody knew. Santa's coming December the 21st. It's a Thursday from 4 to 6. Just bring your child and let them sit on Santa's lap and tell Santa what they want for Christmas, and you are welcome to take pictures. You'll need to bring your own camera or your cell phone, take some pictures. That's usually a real nice night. We usually get people knowing everybody and taking pictures, and it's fun. So that's Thursday. This Saturday, we have Bob Tarter coming, and Bob Tarter brings the animals. It's kind of like the zoo coming to us, only it's Bob Tarter. He's an individual. And this Saturday, it's at 11 a.m. We usually have it at 1. It's at 11 a.m. this Saturday. It's a new time. And he's bringing animals that help people. So bringing a yellow lab puppy, and he's bringing it's a miniature goat, and a silky chicken, and an Angora rabbit. Yeah, it's fun. He's an outstanding presenter. It's a free program. All the programs at the library are free.
I like him better. I do the reptile guy.
Yes. Yes.
You need to take note of these, because you've got one that would enjoy
Absolutely,
these.
yeah. Just noted how nice the library was. I've seen it from the outside, but never been inside since I've been in Woodbury. It's just so nice.
It's beautiful. There's an Adams Memorial Building Association that takes care of the building, and they also they're providing the program for this Saturday. So that's wonderful. And so everybody is welcome. Everybody come this Saturday. Santa's Thursday. The other program we're doing 2 little things in the library. One is it's Elf on the Shelf. You've probably seen this, where you put them around. And what we do is we have 6 days that we're doing this. It's it's December 16th. It's a Saturday to Friday, December 22nd. And you come in every day and you pick up the hint of the day to where to find the little elf in the library, and you fill out a little slip and you put it in for a drawing. And then we draw for the children, the young adults, and then adults. So it's 3 age groups.
Do they have to find it?
Yeah.
Do they come in and find it?
Yeah, they have
that'd
to
be
come
fun.
find it and say which book he's reading.
Don't tell Sue, she'll be over here every
Yeah,
day.
I'll be over here looking.
That's good. That's great.
I'm too
Little
big.
elf fell.
Too old.
Then,
Not too old.
so
to look for
that's a
him.
program we're starting next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, the 16th. And also, we have a Toys for Tots drop-off box. And so if you have, if you would like to donate toys and these stay in this community, you can drop those off at the library. And they're asking for toys that are not wrapped, and toys that do not look like guns or knives.
Violent.
Yeah, and they also don't want stuffed animals.
Okay.
Why is that?
Kids could, a sick adult could cough on the stuffed toy, and then
Oh, okay. It's all about germ warfare. Okay.
But when you first come in the library, we have a little section, it's called a maker space, And we have all the supplies, and so we have this little reindeer, and you can just stop off and make it. The children can make this, or adults can make it. So children could make this for their parents for Christmas.
Well, I
We
probably
also-
need help doing
Yeah,
that.
he's cute. And we have other items, and then we also have this secret book. It's a secret book box.
Oh,
And so we
okay.
have the books, we have all the supplies that you need to make this. You can just stop in, and that makes it nice. We had a pretty gold bow on it, but it fell off. But you could make that too and give it to someone.
Wow,
Or for
nice.
yourself, yeah. It's just, this took about 45 minutes to make. But, so I wanted to mention that, and I think. The other thing is we have story time every Thursday at 10:30. And this month, the month of December, we are doing it upstairs. People tend to get a little busy, and we have a smaller crew. But JC is our story time teller, librarian. She does a great job. They do a little video, dancing or singing or something, and then she reads stories, and then they do a craft. So
Oh,
it's a
okay.
nice story time. And do I have time for one more thing?
Sure.
Well, we did the Battle of the Books. The Battle of the Books was done, it's a competition of the elementary schools. It's a friendly competition. And this year, Patrick Jacobs kind of heads this up for the library. And he set a goal of 5,000 books for all the elementary students to read in the county, all 6 elementary schools, to read 5,000 books. Well, they did it.
Oh,
They read-
that's great.
Yeah, they read 5,752 books. And Woodland Elementary School won the contest this year. They're the champion. They read the most books per student. It's not the most books, it's per student, so that everybody's on an equal playing field. Runner-up was Eastside. And then Mrs. Taylor's second grade class at Woodland Elementary, their class read the most books at Woodland, so they win a pizza party.
Oh, all
Library gives them a
right.
pizza party. And
I'd like one of them.
for Woodland and Eastside, every grade, kindergartner through 8th grade, turned in a reading log. And that was outstanding. That was the best participation. Sometimes the reading logs don't get turned in, but
Yeah.
those 2 schools did outstanding. And the most improved school was Woodbury Grammar.
Oh, well,
It's the most
good.
improved. They turned in more this year. And then we also have one special acknowledgement, and that's Mrs. Vickers' second grade class at Short Mountain. They read the most books, period. Now, her class won last year. Short Mountain School won last year, and her class won the pizza party last year. But her class still read the most books in all the county. So
Well, that's great.
I know, it's just wonderful. We so appreciate the teachers. They take the time to get these logs to us, and we appreciate that. And then the children just have done an outstanding job. I mean,
Well, one other, besides all of this having to do with the children, is the genealogy department at the library is outstanding. That's probably at the chamber, that's the most calls I get about the library. And many of them don't know that our library has a room of genealogy, just because that's what people call about that have moved off, most of them to Texas, and they call and they want to know, they're researching their family history, and for some reason, a lot of their family lived in or around Cannon County. And of course, a lot of times they'll ask me to go back and research a relative that had lived here in the 1800s somewhere. Well, I can't do that. That takes a lot of time. But if there were any records about them, they would be at the library. Am I right?
yes, and we did get a new scanner. We've got a new computer now that you can look at the microfilm records, and so we have a new machine now that does that.
Oh,
it's real nice.
good.
It's super. It's very nice.
Yeah.
State of the art. Yeah.
That is so good.
It is, because you have a lot of people that come. Do you still have the one day that everybody can come in and research their?
Thursday 9 to 2. Peggy Tate
Yeah.
volunteers, and she's here. She's our volunteer for genealogy. She's under the weather right now, so she I'm not sure she'll be in this Thursday, but every Thursday, year in and year out, I think she's done it, I don't know, 10 years?
Long time.
15 years she's been doing this, so she's very helpful.
Do you have the annuals, the yearbooks for the school? Do you have one for every year, or there's some years you don't have?
I think there are a couple years she's missing, and so yes, we will take donations and then try to fill in.
That's what I wondered, if you
years.
took donations. Occasionally at an auction or something, you'll find a yearbook and you wonder if, if the library has that one or something.
Well, what happens is if you have more than one child and they're in the high school, each one
You
of them
get 2 or
wants their
3.
own.
Yeah.
So if you have an extra one,
Donate
might
to the
call and
library.
donate it to the library because they'll put it somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's the older ones we're missing. The newer ones, I think she automatically now gets those, but
Okay.
I'll double check on that.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's just, and you do have book sales and you do take donations of books, right?
Yes, yes. For the donation books, we do ask that they're in pretty decent condition. No, not much writing inside. There can be a few notes, but not a lot. And clean, not moldy or mildewy. But we do, in fact, we have a sale going on now. It's, the books, hardback books are 50 cents a book, or 3 for $1. Buy 2, get 1 free.
And believe it or not, there are still people who read.
I do.
Oh, Yeah,
I
love
do.
to.
Well, there are because, now with technology the way it is,
People have
they
a
just-
Kindle or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, a recent patron that has come in every week, she's just now switching over to Kindle. And she likes it because she can make the font as large as she needs,
Well, that's good.
But we do have a large print section, but the Kindles are nice in that they can.
Right. But like I say, there's still people who actually read. Marcia, you do a great job. And I don't know if people realize how important the library is. And we not only have one here in Woodbury, but there's one in Auburn Town.
Yes, in Auburntown, and it's open noon to 4 on Wednesday and Friday. I think it's open till 4:30 on Friday, but it opens at noon.
And what are your hours here at the library?
It kind of varies on the day, but basically Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, we're open till 4, 9 to 4. Every morning we open at 9, except for Sunday. And then Tuesday and Thursday are our late nights. Tuesday, we're open till 7, Thursday, 6, and Friday to 5.
Okay.
And the other days are 4, so.
And you have a website where they can go on and look
Yes,
up
we
what
do.
things you're
And
having.
The website, you can Google Adams Memorial Library and it'll come up, but we're also known as Cannon County Library System.
Right.
That includes Auburntown then, and that will pop up for the website.
Okay.
Lincoln.
Well, we thank you for that information, and I think it's very important because along with local business, you got to have a library.
Yeah, let me give my phone number too. The
All
library
right.
phone number, in case you want to call on any of these programs that I just mentioned, it's 563-5861.
All right. And put that 615 in front.
Yes.
Okay, well, you know what? We're coming to the end of this year, and the Chamber has had a great year. It really has. We've had a lot of new Chamber members that have come on board. Starting back at the first of the year, we had Southern Charm Cafe and Bakery, and that's located in the antique store, the old feed store, antique store. And she has a great little business, and she serves lunch in there, I believe, from 11 until 2. And Tammy does a great job. She also has a bakery. So if you need cakes, cookies, cupcakes, she caters. You can go in there and talk to her, and if you have any of those needs, she can help you with them. Cannon County Chiropractic, and that's Dr. Tria Wessel. And she does a great job. She keeps everybody moving that comes in there. And then she'll tell you, you don't need to sit around. Tennessee College of Applied Technology joined the Chamber. We're glad to have them. Generations of Woodbury, which serves a very special need for people with disabilities. Some of them may be mental, some of them may be other types of disabilities, but they are part of Cannon County and have been for some years. And there is a need for these homes for these people, and so they became a member of the chamber. Shelton Heating and Air is new. Their location is out of Manchester, is where their home office is, but they also have an office here in Cannon County. The community, the Cannon County Community for Animals, and that is just what it is. It's for where dogs and animals are rescued and this type of thing, but they're a part of it. The Experience Community Church, which has a great, they have increased their, they're just great. They've done a good job in Cannon County. They had a great event, and I can't remember the name of it here, back a couple of months ago, and I think it may have drawn as many as 1,500 people to Cannon County, and they had an outside service around the courthouse. They baptized a lot of people, a lot of great music. Everybody was a little afraid of it, I think, but they organized it, put it together, and brought in a lot of people, and they did a really good job with it. So we welcome them. The Greatness Factory, which is owned by Coach Michael Burt, and he has that as an event center. He also, they have exercise classes there, and he also teaches there, and Michael does a good job with that. Adoration Home Health, which is right next door or part of that building, and it's right there on Main Street. Woodbury Drug Center, LLC, and they're on Main Street, and they're one of our most recent chamber members. And then the Corners on Stones River Bed and Breakfast and Event Center, and that's an old Civil War house. It's in Reedville. It was owned by Karen Ford. It has new purchases now, new owners now, and that's Amanda and Jay Landrum. And I was out there for a grand opening 2 weeks ago. Beautiful old house. They do have 2 rooms that will serve as a bed and breakfast. And for right now, they're just getting started. They will start taking bookings on December 15th, but the bed and breakfast is for weekends only. The event center, they're contacting a lot of people. You can hold weddings there. They've even contacted some of the schools about having their proms there. It would be a great place because it's covered in a large area. So we are so happy to have all of those people that have joined the chamber. And of course, we're hoping all of them show up at the banquet and get to meet each other and get to know each other and continue to be members. Because if the chamber doesn't do anything else, it does try to sell this county. And I guess it's because the board is very proud of this community. And we want other people to see, because even though we're like any community and there may be some problems that we experience, but overall, our business community and everything they all get together and they work well together, and we want more. Some of the events that we had, oh my gosh, and I don't even have a list of all of them because a lot of separate organizations put on festivals and this type of thing. A lot of the churches put on a lot of events that I don't have listed, but the main ones, and they will be in 2018, a lot of these same events will happen again. But we have the Chamber Banquet every January. Short Mountain Distillery has music festivals throughout the year. The Open Jam with James Stemridge is bluegrass around the courthouse square, and that gets more popular. You can sit out there and pick and grin with anybody you want to, so that's a good thing. The Antique Store Spring Fling will be in the spring. They also have a Winter Fest, and they have a fall event. So the majority of our businesses downtown are antique stores, but they draw a big crowd. And when people come to your community to antique shop, they want to go to more than one. And even though we've had some boutiques that have moved in, we have some consignment shops that have moved in, flower shops that have moved in. There's lots of things to do. We have 2 restaurants on the square. One is the Pizza Den, and the other one is, what are their names?
A&J.
A&J. And they're where the old Joe's used to be. So those of you that are familiar with Joe's, that's where these people have moved into. Plus all of our fast food places, all of our other restaurants. Yeah, the Lunchbox, D&J. We have a Mexican restaurant. I'm trying to think of some of the others that we have.
We have a Chinese restaurant.
Pardon?
Chinese.
Yes, we do have a Chinese. And you know, I forget that's there, but we do have a Chinese restaurant.
No, the one uptown.
But some of the other ones are the car and truck cruise-ins. We're hoping to start those up again in April. The wagon train ride, which is just what it says. We have a large group of wagons and mules in the county, and they get together twice a year. They spend 3 days, and each day they do a different route that you can go through Cannon County. And a lot of people like to show up and watch them, just watch them go through. Then we have a mule show. The Good Old Days is in May every year, and that's a fundraiser for the Senior Citizen Center, but it attracts a lot of people. The Cannon County Walking Horse Association, they have about 200 and some acres on Short Mountain with a campground, and they have a spring and a fall ride. And you come to town with your horse, whatever, and you ride up to the mountain, and then they camp for 3 days up there. And they have a lot of events during the year that aren't part of that. So if you're into that, and then they will rent out their campground. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Gazaway Homecoming, we have a fishing rodeo put on by the Tennessee Wildlife Association, and that's always real popular because they let, for one thing, you don't have to have a fishing license, but it's actually for little kids. Well, that day you don't. It's you can fish without a license, but it's for little kids up to 12 years. And of course, they want an adult to accompany them, but it's really not for the adults until after this event is over with. So then the daddies and the mamas can fish. We have a rodeo, Bullwhip Rodeo. The Color of Fall Car and Truck Show is always in September. We have White Oak Weekend, which is the craft fair at the Art Center. The Toy Drive Cruise In is after that, and that's for the cruisers bring the toys for children at Christmas time. Veterans Day Celebration and Parade, we had the Cannon County Christmas, which was amazing this year. I mean, record crowds to this, a great boost for our downtown businesses, and it was just fun to see and be a part of. Lions Club is always the first Saturday in December, and last Saturday was that day. And we had Lions Club Pancake with Santa. I do believe that may have been a record crowd, but then we've got to remember it's an election year, so a lot of politicians showed up. And they were kissing babies and hugging Santa and doing all that. The Christmas parade was at 12 noon. It was the largest Christmas parade I've seen. And I know that lining all these people up, that's a job in itself, but as they went through town, you couldn't have told if there was ever any problem with that. It went off great, and we were really proud of that. That night was the tour of homes. We had 9 homes on the tour, and as far as I know, that was a good event for all of them. Now, the Art Center, I haven't even gotten into that because there is still one thing in December, and that is Elvis. That is their Christmas show, and it will be December 16th and 17th. And if you need tickets for that, you best call, because that may be a booked-up event. And it will be on Friday night at 7:30, or Saturday night, I'm sorry, on 7:30, and on Sunday, a matinee at 2 p.m. And I'll tell you, a great Christmas present is season tickets, because that's a present that they will use all year long. Because I think you get 6 shows, and it would be $60. So you can't do anything for $10 anymore, and that's a great thing. Their 2018 season starts out on February 2nd with The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the concert series starts January 13th with Forever Abbey Road, and that's a Beatles tribute. They've been here before, and they sell out every time they're here. Some of the other shows for the 2018 is in April. You will have Flaming Idiots. That's an award-winning comedy. July 6th through the 21st is Grease, the musical. August 10th through the 25th is Titanic. And September 28th through the 13th is And Then There Were None. And then November 2nd through the 17th is Hello, Dolly. Their concert series starts in January with Forever Abbey Road. March will be Your Buddy Aaron Tessis, is a tribute to Buddy Holly. I remember Buddy Holly. I went and seen him this last year. That's a good show. May 19th through the 20th is Sail On. That's a tribute to the Beach Boys. June 2nd and 3rd is Ultimate Oldies Show. I also went and seen that this year. That was wonderful. June 5th through the 16th is Uzu, and that's a tribute to U2. Now, that was a band that had to be in the 80s, because I'm not real familiar with them. September 1st is Jake Leg Stompers, and they come here a lot, but they always sell out. So that's the things that I know about. There'll probably be other things that will pop up during the year. We want to thank you for watching our show today, and we hope to see you at some event in 2018, if not all of them. And we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year.